You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Emerson Whitner, and this is your NXT audio update for Wednesday, May 13th, 2015. Before beginning this week's NXT audio update, I do want to give a quick programming note. Next week, instead of our quick little 10-15-minute audio update, instead, my Wrestling Outsiders podcast will be taking over AngryMarks.com with a full review of next week's NXT Takeover Unstoppable show, and that's going to be up next Wednesday night. We do it live at 10:30 next week, and then I'll send it to Stevie J afterwards to post on the website. Speaking of my Wrestling Outsiders podcast, last night we celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and we went back in time. We watched the Tuesday Night Titans from the day I was born in 1984. We watched Primetime Wrestling from the day my brother was born in 1986. Plus, we interviewed Rich Camelucci of Pod Slam, and he was on the show and was a great guest for over 30 minutes. You can listen to all that and so much more right now at blogtalkradio.com/Wrestling Outsiders. Now with the cheap plug out of the way, on to NXT, which is full of cheap plugs, mostly for NXT Takeover Unstoppable next Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Several times throughout the show, they did mention Sami Zayn's shoulder injury. They implied that he will be wrestling next week. Lord knows what's going to happen. They might just do a 5-minute match. They might do an angle to get him out of there. Who knows? But as of right now, they never made any announcements. They also never even mentioned any potential problems with Hideo Itami. So, that's going to be a last-minute surprise there as well. It's my brother Brian's 29th birthday today, and we kicked off the show with his favorite wrestler, Solomon Crowe, doing a job for Baron Corbin. Crowe got in a little bit of offense, but Corbin just kicked his butt and kicked his butt some more. He won with the end of days. The fans have turned on Baron. I don't know if they just really like Solomon Crowe or they're really growing sick of Baron Corbin because they chanted boring. And my new favorite NXT chant, Baron's gonna bore you. The announcers, of course, ignored it. Baron won. Rhino came out afterwards, calling Baron the other unstoppable force, making the official challenge for TakeOver, and this led to a big giant brawl that security had to run and break up. Throughout the night, each of the people for the Triple Threat number one contenders match did promos saying that they were going to win and who they'd like to face for the NXT title. Finn Balor and Tyler Breeze, you could just copy-paste what they said. They both said they would win the Triple Threat match, and neither of them cared who they faced for the NXT title. Hideo Itami actually said he wanted to fight Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens was a bad man and didn't respect the title. So it's possible that before Hideo's injury, he may have been getting the win. But I guess we'll never know, will we? Before the next bout, Sasha Banks cut an in-ring promo saying that Becky Lynch got lucky last week when she made her tap out during the contract signing, but next week she wouldn't be as lucky. And that led to Sasha Banks defeating a local diva who was wearing black shorts. So the crowd, who wasn't really into much of this show, did a half-hearted dueling chant of "Let's go Sasha, let's go black shorts." It was just this squash match. The local diva was able to get a couple roll-ups, but nothing else. And Sasha got the win with the bank statement. Charlotte and Bayley were backstage, cutting a very weird promo. I can't even really describe to what it was. It looked like Charlotte did not like Bayley, but at the same time showed no vocal contempt towards her. They challenged Dana Brooke and Emma to a tag team match next week, and my only comments on that is, oh my God, they're going to put Dana Brooke on live television. I'll get into that later on when I run down the card. Last week, I had no idea who Yuha Nation is or was, and I got a whole boat ton of emails and tweets telling me who he was, and I'm sure I'll get a whole boatload of tweets and emails again if I mispronounce his name, which I honestly don't know if I am or not. But either way, he's still debuting and he still doesn't have a name. Alexa Bliss pinned Carmella. The match was set up 2 weeks ago during that horrible backstage segment where Carmella was arguing with Blake and Murphy, and then Alexa walked up and stuck her nose into it. After 1 minute of quote-unquote action, Blake and Murphy sauntered out to the ring to watch the match. They blew a spot really fierce. Alexa was going for, that move where they kind of flip off the middle rope and do an arm drag off of it. Well, Alexa went for that and landed directly on her butt. And that was that. Carmella got on her head scissors, but Blake and Murphy jumped up on the apron, so Carmella broke the move. Alexa hit a punch to the lower back and then hit the Sparkle Splash for the win. The fans were chanting, "You look stupid," during the match, and to be perfectly honest, I couldn't even tell you who they were chanting that at. I still think this all leads to Carmella turning heel. I've been wrong before. Lord knows I'll be wrong again in the future. But this one, I think I got right. Emma and Dana Brooke, by the way, accepted the challenge. Dana showed that she's really a 12-year-old girl at heart, saying that she's not jelly of Charlotte. To which I thought, is jealous really that hard to say? This then led to our in-ring main event, Tyler Breeze and Adam Rose versus Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. If I could have bet money on the outcome of this match, just saying who was going to get pinned in this match, I would have bet the house on Adam Rose doing the job. Well, thankfully I wasn't allowed to actually bet money on this pre-recorded match. The fans, again, seemed to not really care too much. Buddy Wayne would not have been happy with the tagging, as Hideo and Finn seemed to be trying their best to slap each other's hand as hard as humanly possible. Adam Rose did show more than he has in a long time, using just a beautiful spine buster and a Boston Crab at one point. Finn made the hot tag to Hideo. Tommy tagged in and went all kick happy on his foes. Ballard blind tagged himself in, but before he could give Breeze a double foot stomp, Tommy tagged himself back in, and while those two argued, Breeze rolled up a Tommy and got the surprising win. After the match, Breeze shoved the Tommy into Balor. He laid out Balor with a beauty shot, and then laid out Rose with a supermodel kick. So maybe they replaced Hideo with Adam Rose. The scheduled card for next week. Of course, there's injuries, so it could always change. But as it stands right now, the matches are Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, Finn Balor versus Tyler Breeze versus Hideo Itami, Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch, Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy versus Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, Baron Corbin versus Rhino, and the match that I'm least looking forward to, Charlotte and Bayley versus Dana Brooke and Emma. Every single time they do a takeover show, they announce some big women's match, and I go on record saying that I think this is going to be the time when they have a disappointing women's match that finally breaks the streak of all these amazing, awesome women's matches. If I'm wrong this time, I quit. This match will not be any good. There, I said it. The main event, face-to-face confrontation between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They edited in audio and post-production of Sami Zayn saying that he injured himself wrestling John Cena, but he will face Kevin Owens next week. Zayn went on and on, asking Owens why he attacked him. Zayn wondered out loud if it was jealousy because he got here first, and that meant if Sami didn't get here and pave the way, that maybe Kevin wouldn't have been able to come in. Zayn said, well, maybe it's because Kevin's son wears a Sami Zayn shirt to school instead of a Kevin Owens shirt. Maybe it's because his kid wears Sami Zayn wristbands. Owens just stood there and stared at him until finally walking away. Zayn angrily shouted at him from the ring, and Owens stopped at the top of the ramp and, without looking at Sami, just cut a promo saying that he knows the truth. The truth is that when Zayn went home after TakeOver, it wasn't because he wanted to get some rest. It was because Kevin hurt him. Kevin knows exactly how he hurt him and what the injury is, and at TakeOver, he's going to injure him again, and this time, Sami won't be coming back. That would be such an awesome way to end the show, except, we may not have a match next week. Don't know what's going to happen, but tune in next week. TakeOver Unstoppable, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. It should be a fun 2 hours if nothing else. Take care. Thank you again for listening. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.
You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.